you do justice to those chairs. All of you. Anyway, well, we're here. There's some things that we would have to bring up to speed for the new members of this council. One is, first and foremost, is here Ms. Rosa Lopez. She has an ongoing battle with this city for 13 years, and we're going to be asking for a meeting so that this great lady who's tremendous, resilient, tremendous courage, needs some justice. As we speak, my colleague has been reaching out to everyone having to do with minority people, that contractors that want to work and want to be given a fair chance so they can do their thing. Then we have a situation that has been going on for many, many years, and that's that place that brings much more people to this city than any other, and that's the Alamo. We had a press conference this Saturday, and we made our spiel out of there. But here we want to tell you that it is, whatever it is that you do with that place, I know the money comes from other sources, but this is our city, and the Alamo is right in the middle of it. And that has to do with to have respect for those people that are underneath that those sacred, and there's those sacred grounds. We want you to know that we will be intensifying our efforts, and that, President Beckridge, Republican President Lincoln, when he gave the Gettysburg Address, he talked about he wanted to bring the nation together because there was a tremendous civil war going on. And he said that in many ways the dead should have not died in vain. That it is for us the living to be dedicated to that cause for which they gave their last full measure of devotion. Now we're talking about all combatants, and they have to be people that are there to rescue. Whether they be indigenous people, African slaves, combatants, Tejanos, Texans, Americans, they all have to be respected. We also ask, and this is very important as well, you need, before you do anything, you have to revisit that story. We've been fed, according to some people, and not everybody is going to agree, but we don't. We're the ones that have been all in school, but we're told all kinds of things about the Alamo that they practice our evil. They told us all kinds of things about the indigenous people that we love for the cavalry to come and kill those people. But today we're telling you that it is your responsibility, your duty to revisit that story. There's a new book out there called Forget the Alamo, and there's 3 authors there. One of them writes for the History Chronicle and the Express News as a columnist. Very good book. You need to check it out. Now, you do not have to say, well, what is he talking about, or what should we believe in? No, I'm asking you that it's your responsibility that you have to get that story straight before you do anything else. Before you do anything else with that Alamo. Because those are our children that read those textbooks and have been reading them, and we did too. And I called it the other lie. You know which the other lie is? The other big lie. Therefore, we'll sit here and see what anybody else has to say. We don't have a problem with that. All's fair. As we were there were some people on the other side that I worked very closely with. And we were very successful because we reached across the island, and we all worked together. Democrats, Republicans, Libertarians, Tea Party people, and very successful. One case in point, and there was the streetcar. We were very successful with it. I came and told Ms. Ivy Taylor at the time that she better throw the towel in, or else we would embarrass them, all of them. In the upcoming November election, which nobody wanted, and that happened. Or rather, it didn't happen. She took the towel in. let's move. Therefore, I'm going to pass the mic here to my colleague, Mr. Sierra.
Yeah. How much time do I have? I just want to check.
3.5 minutes.
3.5? First of all, I want to say hello to all the new people. And, I want to say this. I've been coming here the last few weeks. I've been here at least 2 or 3 of these sessions. And I've been talking the same story. And that story is that we are here to grieve these people that are buried at the Alamo. And we have that right. Not only the Constitution, but treaty rights. Well, I went to the Alamo 4 days in a row. On the 4th day, I was apprehended by the Alamo Rangers. And the Alamo Rangers handcuffed me. I was doing nothing wrong, wasn't even speaking. I had 2 flags that were upside down. That's not illegal. And they arrested me, they agreed to detain me, grabbed me in the back. They sheltered me, isolated me, wouldn't let me talk to anybody. And then all of a sudden, the San Antonio Police Department shows up and they let me go because I did nothing wrong. They were furious. And as a matter of fact, the San Antonio Police Sergeant apologized to me because of the way they treated me. Last night, there was a video that was put on YouTube where a man named Jack Miller goes over to the Alamo. He goes over there, and this is what he does. He antagonized the Alamo Rangers. Please see the video. It's called TITFF Sheet 72, Jack Miller's video. And he antagonizes the Alamo Rangers, and he cusses at them, he swears at them. He takes off all his clothes, and he was mocking them because they arrested her. They handcuffed a Mexican. He said, "You can't do that to me." And he's a white man. And they didn't. I want to ask you, as the city council and the mayor, is that okay with you that they're handcuffing Mexicans, but white men get away with yelling and profanity and getting down to their boxer shorts, and that's okay? But Mexicans, they stand up for their cause, they stand up for their people, and they get handcuffed and they get threatened to be arrested. I was told verbatim by these people at the Alamo Rangers, if I step on again on the grounds, I will be arrested immediately. Well, I'm going back the 4th of July, and I would invite all my friends to come out, because I'm going to stand up for the Mexicans that this council seems not to do. I don't understand this. So I will warn you now that I'm going back there because I have my First Amendment right, and that is that I can grieve the dead that are buried at that Alamo, and you can't do anything about it. And if you do, there's going to be a lot of cameras, so this is going to get real interesting. Remember, I came to you 2 or 3 times now, and I appealed to you. Nobody responded. So now it's on. 4th of July.
We thank you for your attention one more time. I want to congratulate everyone that the new faces here. Have a great, bright month. All, thank you.
Thank you all very much. I'm going to pause the public citizens speaker portion very briefly. We do have a public hearing. We need a quorum to establish it. And so I'm going to open the public hearing for the FY 2022-2026 Consolidated Plan and FY 2022 Action Plan and Budget Fund through the city's 4 U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development entitlement grants, including the Community Development Block Grant, Home Investment Partnership Programs, Current Emergency Solutions Grant, and Housing Opportunities for Persons with AIDS program. If there are any citizens signed up to speak at the public hearing, they can do so now. Those folks who did not sign up for this portion will be heard later. And only those folks who have signed up for this particular item can speak on these items. Nothing else, otherwise you'll be cut off. There were no citizens who signed up for this public hearing. So the public hearing for the FY 2022-2026 Consolidated Plan and the FY 2022 Action Plan and Budget on those items mentioned is hereby closed. We'll now resume our citizens be heard hearing. So let's go into the list. We'll start with Charisma Villarreal. You'll have 3 minutes and be followed by Jack.
I don't believe my topic has to do with that.
That's right. That public hearing is now closed, so the floor is yours for 3 minutes on any item you want to address the council. And He'll be followed by Jack Finger.
And who do I get, don't want to forget.
You're ready.
Need AV, sir? He's coming.
I'm a seventh generation native Texan and a descendant of the Alamo Defenders. I am also a descendant of Jose de la Luz Science. He was one of the co-founders of LULAC. So some would say that I have a very unique family tree. Both men fought as common soldiers in wars for our state and our country. My four-time great-grandfather, Gregorio Esparza, fought for Texas independence from Mexico in 1836. And my great-grandfather, Jose Science, fought in World War I in 1918. As common soldiers, these men followed orders by their superiors and fought for what they believed in. Two very patriotic men in my opinion. On June 11, 2021, LULAC Chapter 4383 held a press conference in Alamo Plaza. They said they were coming to City Council today to ask for a Mexican Soldiers Hero Stage celebrated on the Alamo footprint and battlefield. They suggested that all soldiers that fought in the battle of 1836 be honored. That means soldiers of both sides of the conflict. Both. The common soldier has been recognized in many places in America and around the world. Some volunteered and truly believed in what they fought for, while others were drafted and fought because they had no choice. This is what I believe my Esparza ancestors must have experienced. Gregorio Esparza volunteered to fight against the tyrannical Santa Anna and his brother Francisco fighting on the Mexican side. They both did what they felt they needed to do. As common soldiers, I am sure they both carried out orders of their superiors. A perfect example of honoring both sides would be to depict the relationship between the Esparza brothers at the Alamo. In the end, Francisco was so moved at the atrocities that were ordered by his General Santa Anna that he dared to beg him for Gregorio's body, so he could give his brother a Christian burial and not be burned in the fires like garbage. I have to believe that no one here wants to honor the murderous tyrant General Santa Anna or other war criminals, but if we open the door to honoring the common soldier that was only carrying out orders of his superiors, then it opens the door for all common soldiers. You can't cherry pick the ones that are okay and the ones that are not okay. You see, not too long ago, the monument depicting a common soldier in Travis Park was taken down quickly and destructively under the cover of darkness under Mayor Nuremberg's support. This makes me question Nuremberg's statement in December 2019, and I quote, "I think everyone who shed blood in the defense of liberty and the things that they believe in on both sides ought to be honored." And that's exactly what the intent of this redevelopment plan is. There it is, right there, both sides. Who gets to decide which two sides are okay to honor? Didn't that common soldier in Travis Park fight for what he believed in too? We cannot cherry pick history. I ask the City Council to be consistent in who we honor and who we don't honor. Adversaries that ended up being on the wrong side of history started out with a cause, just ended up being the wrong one. Either recognize all of them or recognize none of those on the wrong side of history. San Antonio cannot have it both ways. Let us not forget, remember the Alamo before you have to remember the Alamo.
Thank you, Mr. Gabriel. Jack Finger. Mr. Finger, you be followed by Henry Rodriguez. You already came up, Henry. You'll be followed by Lamar Henry.
Mayor Nuremberg, members of our illustrious San Antonio City Council. The record, my name is Jack Finger, and I welcome you to all the new members of our council. Congratulations on your victories. It will be an interesting next 2 years. I for one do not like a good president being misquoted. Abraham Lincoln, in his Gettysburg address, he was addressing the crowd. He was referring to Americans who had earlier split from their fellow states and decided to launch a civil war. That's who he was referring to in his address. The idea of hoping that brothers would once again join each other in the future. He was not referring to Santa Ana. Let it be known, there be no mistake that the Mexican government before 1836 had allowed American settlers, white, Hispanic, Tejanos, to settle in the area we now call Texas. Sadly, that Mexican government breached its contract with those settlers, and then allowed Mr. Santa Ana, General Santa Ana, to come forward and to eradicate all those settlers. Not to essentially a major war, certainly a big battle among them. This is history. There's no disputing this. Sad. Fortunately, the LULAC organization wants to consider what we really was an enemy, wants to celebrate that enemy. Yes. Wow. Celebrating the enemy. No, I'm sorry. That's wrong. It's not only wrong, it's downright immoral. We have good people, good men, who set the example over 100 years ago at the Alamo. They and their memory should not be tarnished, should not be confused with an enemy that tried to take away our freedom that they stood for, freedom that you as citizens now enjoy here. Please do not be confused over the mixed message here. I'm sorry if there were some Mexicans who were conscripted. Can't help them. This is history.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Lamar Henry, followed by Leon Abrams.
Now, for years we've been coming here speaking through to a den of council people. I'll be nice about it. Sanity prevailed when the Texas Historical Commission ruled in favor of Texas citizens to leave the cenotaph in place. This monument honors those fallen defenders who fought Sam Houston time with their very lives to rally against and ultimately stop an invasion by a ruthless dictator, Santa Anna, a Napoleon complex individual who declared himself dictator, quickly negating the Mexican Constitution under which the Texans were citizens of Mexico, seized civil rights, and proceeded to declare them traitors. Traitors? He said, yes, Santa Anna and his band of military minions were, in fact, the true traitors in Texas as well as in Mexico. Many Mexican states rose up against the dictator. One other of note, former Mexican Governor Francisco Garcia Salinas was defeated in battle in 1835, after which Santa Anna and his band of so-called soldiers put the people to the sword in a massacre. So, kind of you see a trend starting to happen here. These military war criminals should have no place or mention anywhere near the Alamo after the later massacres at San Antonio and Goliad. Their conduct cannot be justified, and it would be the greatest of insults to pretend they should be honored in Texas. Let Mexican dictators and soldiers be honored in Mexico if they think that they should be. But wait, as I found out, Santa Anna and his gang were not very popular down there either. No honors deserved in Mexico, and certainly not in Texas. This entire charade is a bunch of BS and should not even be considered.
The growth of San Antonio has quickly increased, and resources are desperately needed to assist residents and qualified rescues with veterinary services like spay and neuter. Rescues are a saving grace to animal care services here in the city of San Antonio. They are keeping the live release numbers above 90%, while still their reports show that euthanasia of healthy adoptable animals has stayed basically the same since 2016. And I do have reports that show those numbers. Their rescues are drowning in boarding fees, vet bills, and local and long distance transportation arrangements from ACS, getting sick animals the care that they need, helping residents get their animals and animals that they pick up off the streets because so many are running around carrying diseases or are injured. And they have no way to help because things are still shut down from COVID. People are still trying to get back from work, and residents with family members who are pets are suffering, and their animals are also suffering. I would like for the city to please consider the emotional health benefits that our family pets bring to us and afford us to have healthy lives. They give us opportunities to be happy when we're sad. They help us through really hard times, and there was a bunch that helped many people through the COVID pandemic. And now they are running the streets, they are being injured, they are continuing to be bred without regulation, and puppies are dying by euthanization every single day from the city. I hope you will take that into consideration. Work harder for animal care services, with animal care services, and for the city and the residents of San Antonio and the surrounding areas. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Akins. Brandon Burkhart, followed by Jose Euro, also Thomas Barrett.
Good evening, Council, and welcome to the new council members that won in here. Congratulations, Perry and Bird, for winning their seats as well. I want to speak to you guys about the Alamo and the proposal that's being made to you guys by LULAC. They want to honor the Mexican soldiers on the Alamo footprint. Now, the last time I checked, not just the United States, not just Texas, but the entire world does not honor tyrants. Do we invite Japan over to Pearl Harbor to honor their dead at the site? No. Are there monuments? Are there any kind of markers, etc., to Fidel Castro in Cuba? Absolutely not. Does Germany honor or remember Hitler for his actions? No. The reason being is that they are tyrants. Santa Anna was a tyrant. The men that followed him in the battle were tyrants too. And some can say, oh, well, they were just following orders, etc. We proved that differently in the Nuremberg trials. And I implore each and every one of you to go check it out if you have not read that. Look at that trial. They are just as guilty as Santa Anna was. The millions of people that do come here to visit the Alamo, to see the Alamo, they do so because of the 1836 battle. That is why they come here. That is Texas's most memorable monument that we have in our entire state. We have Tejanos and Anglos, we even have blacks that were fighting alongside each other. Why were they fighting? Because Mexico decided to tear up the Constitution, which mimicked the United States Constitution at that time, and they were fighting for liberty, freedom, and their God-given rights. So, whenever you talk about wanting to honor the Mexican soldiers on the Alamo footprint, we not only say no, but we say hell no. If Mexico wants to honor their troops, they can do it across the southern border, not here in the United States. And we're definitely not for inviting the Mexico government over to the Alamo. I mean, that's a slap in the face. When the Mexican soldiers in Santa Ana rode into San Antonio, they were flying a red flag, which means to take no prisoners, kill everyone there. And they did just that. Not only that, they denied them their Christian burial by burning the bodies, and that was done on purpose because they didn't want them to be held as heroes. But to every Texan, whether it be all the way from Amarillo to Brownsville, from Beaumont to El Paso, we all see them as heroes, one way or form or fashion. And I see that my seconds are going to run out. I have a person that's giving me minutes too. I'm going to go ahead and get that. If you'll stand up.
Carrie Miller.
I'm sorry, say your name again.
Carrie Miller.
You're not signed up. Oh, Carrie Miller. Okay, go ahead. You have 30 more minutes.
So, you heard earlier that we want from the LULAC representatives, we want to honor all. Well, I'll tell you what, whenever they made their press release here, just at the Alamo Cenotaph this past week, this Texas Freedom Force was there to oppose them, to oppose that message. And it's funny because we had two speakers, only two speakers that we had to speak to Texans and tourists alike that were out there. One, a conservator, Mr. George Rodriguez, and the second one is the GLO candidate, Mr. Weston Martinez, both of Hispanic descent. They'll tell you Italianos, but here are Texans, they're Hispanic. The LULAC individuals came over to that rally to throw racial slurs at both of these men, and racial slurs that are usually used towards white men. That tells you the mindset of where they're at. Now, we haven't been here in San Antonio for a while. We were a constant staple inside this building for years, fighting over the Alamo Cenotaph. We spent most of our time up at the Texas Capitol over the last probably 6 or 7 months. We made a lot of friends up there, and they want the focus to continue to be on the 1836 path. And when I say that, even one of our own members is now the RBT historian for the entire state of Texas. They want the focus kept on the 1836 battlefield. And if you expect them to toss in funds to help out with the, quote, reimagine the Alamo Plan, then the focus needs to stay there. Otherwise, you're going to find strong opposition from them. And especially if Weston Martinez is elected, he will shut this down in a heartbeat. So I ask y'all to do what's fair, and I know that we are a group that preserves history, all history, good, bad, ugly. But whenever you're talking about tyrants, it's a completely separate thing. The Travis Park Monument, we didn't see eye to eye with many of the members, and 2 of the members that led that effort are no longer here. And like LULAC, I told you guys that they're going to be a constant staple like the Alamo, so are we. And for those of y'all that are new to this, our organization was the ones that helped the Alamo last year when there were 5,000 rioters and looters came up there to come burn the Alamo down. We passed along information to SAPD as well as sent it to the city to let them know what was going to take place about 48 hours ahead of time. And if it hadn't been for us, law enforcement was actually behind us because they were being overrun. We take our history serious here in Texas, and the Alamo is the #1 most important site to all of us. So I'm telling you, no holiday, no memorial, anything like that to any of the Mexican troops or that. We want to honor Hispanics, honor the Chilenos that fought and died. Thank you.
Followed by Ramon Garza.
Thank you, Doctor, to speak, members of the council. I'm here to speak against the LULAC proposal to honor Santa Ana. I've got a question for you here. Does the Boston Massacre really direct the statute commemorating the English general that murdered so many people in Boston? I don't think so. Why in the world would you do that here in San Antonio? The Alamo is the biggest tourist draw in the state. It's going to come from all over the country for it. And they don't miss Santa Ana. If you want to make a monument to Santa Ana, the Mexican consulate is just down the street a few blocks. Let them go out there and put a monument there. It'll be fine. The other question is they say that they compare it to the monuments in Gettysburg. That's different. Those are all American people. That's different. Santa is not American by any means, stretch of imagination. He was a tyrant, and he They came here to take this country back. And another example, the tomb of that soldier in Washington, D.C., if you put Hitler as a monument there, would that be appropriate? No, I don't think so. How about Mussolini? No, it wouldn't be appropriate either. And there were old cars that killed many more people, and I don't see any reason why we would consider putting it down low. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Minutes per month.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council members. I've been, I'm requesting for minutes given,
I wanted to waive my minutes to Mr. Garcia.
Are you-
Yes,
who are you?
Leslie Wilson.
You're Leslie Wilson?
Yes.
Okay, you'll have 6 minutes. Ron.
Thank you. Well, a lot of things that I want to talk about have been covered already, and the only thing I can say is, maybe I have to repeat them so we can get us, to our next goals here. And remember, thank you for the eye contact, I appreciate that. Folks, I'm speaking, part of my speech here is about being a Marine veteran, a Desert Storm veteran. And during that, action, the United States is fighting a tyrant, Saddam Hussein. Because the fact is, he did terrible things to his people. And the thing is this, we went out there to fight a tyrant. Nowhere in our history, whether it's U.S. history, military history, do we celebrate tyrants. The United States was discovered or was created to get away from tyrannical leaders. Now here, organizations down here in San Antonio, they want to celebrate tyrannical leaders, soldiers. Folks, we don't do those things here. Texas is very proud. Texans are very proud of their history. You've heard me say this for the last 3 years. I'll say it again. I said it in Austin's last two legislations. I'll say it again here. Texans are very proud of their heritage, their history, because I can tell you, being in the military, everybody goes to Texas to see it. Because Texans do not take any love from anybody. We're proud of our history here. We're proud of the Alamo. When they say they want to go ahead and celebrate the people that died there, I'll give you that. My grandmother, she was part of the United Nations. They were there at the Alamo. They're buried there at the Alamo. So, if you support people like that, that's fine. Because the Lieutenant Apaches supported the Tejanos that fought at the Alamo. That is our history. That is my family history. Putting a celebration for Mexican soldiers that killed the fighters at the Alamo? No, that cannot be done. I'm saying it from my heart, from my grandmother, who died over 10 years ago. I'm still fighting for her. I'm not going to stop. So, please, I ask you, don't put no celebration for the Mexican soldiers over there. Because I know my grandmother and many family members of ours that were there together. We're not asking you to put our names on the plaque there. No, we're just saying to honor the history. If it wasn't for the Lieutenant Apaches, the folks there at the Alamo would not survive. I'm very proud of that heritage of mine. My family is too. And I vow that I will continue fighting for my family, my grandmother, the Lieutenant Apaches that are down in the valley, because that's where we're located at right now. 1988, folks. Y'all go into your archives here in San Antonio. The Lieutenant Apaches sued the city of San Antonio. The reason why you cannot drive up to the curb of the Alamo anymore is because they sued the city of San Antonio. So I want y'all to be aware of that. 1988, there is a quote in the archives here that says every single person that's buried there at the Alamo, every single burial spot, who's there? There is. I've seen the book. So all I ask is that you take this history that's dear to everyone's heart here, the real Texan. Like it or not, this is what made us who we are. I know a lot of transplant Texans. Some people don't like me saying that, but there are people that come in. They come over here to Texas because they love our history. Many people that were serving the military here in Texas, they come back after they retire because they love the state, they love the city, especially San Antonio. I was born here and I'm grateful. I'm grateful I'm a Texan. And it's true to our heritage. We will continue fighting. But now it's bureaucracy that we're fighting. So just make sure to get that through everybody here. That's the kind of fight we're talking about. So all I'm saying is this: don't put any type of history, any type of holiday, any type of plaque honoring veteran soldiers. Because the fact is, they did many disgusting things to the people that they fought in battle. You don't mutilate bodies. You honor them. Thank you.
Dick Will.